It's always going to be a tough subject. I'm used to standing on front, so I apologize if I face it a little bit. It's a tough subject for our community, and there's a lot of tension here. And it's going to be hard to meet everybody's, how do we say it, to make everybody happy. That's impossible to make everybody happy. And we're all going to have our own personal views of what we think should happen. I've been preparing for like the last 4 weeks to what I can to address to everybody. And as I drove through Atlasburg today, we were hauling hay on my father-in-law's farm. And I took a notice that the sign they had on the right by the BMW that says slow down trucking. And for the first time, I noticed that Atlasburg has a heartbeat again. Before I left for the military, you drive through Atlasburg and Alex Paris's yards were empty. There was a little bit of equipment, it was all old. I drove through there now. There's all new equipment in his yard. His yard is full. That trucking outfit there, their whole parking lot is full of their workers' trucks who are working, who are providing for their families. You know, Atlasburg, I've never seen it so busy. And to me, that's what we need here in this community. We need those jobs. I had to leave because there was no jobs here for me to keep me. I served 10 years in combat, you know, because I had nothing to keep me here. T.L. McQuillan, T.R. Rutledge, Gary Green, Mr. Green, he served here, as a worker here for 3 years before he died of cancer. Gary didn't have a job. He was working as a small engine repairman. Now he's working for Schlumberger. He's making over $80,000 a year. He's able to buy a house, he married his wife, and have a good life. Same thing with TR. He just got married, he's a beautiful baby boy. He's making money to take care of his family. T.L. McQuillan works for Schlumberger. He was selling speakers out of the back of a minivan before that. Now he's making that money. He provides for his family of 6. You know, these are jobs that my generation needs. We need something here for us. And when I came back, Washington is jumping again. You know, Atlasburg, Burgestown's it's coming in. And I look around here and I see so many vacant areas that we could have so much industry coming in here. And I don't mean to upset anybody. I don't mean to. I just think that was a valid point. That this is an industry that can help us all. Same thing when we signed our farm into the lease. It took a long time before we signed our farm to that lease. And I spent hours researching to make sure that we did it correctly. And when we got our first check, largest check we ever held in our hands. When we turned, later that year, Uncle Sam asked for his piece, and we paid that piece. We paid over $50,000 in taxes that year. And that $50,000 went back to the community in tax funds. And, you know, that helped pave our roads. That helped pay the workers here at the township. Okay, it went to the federal fund. It helps the community, though, still. If people are unemployed, that would help the unemployment. So we pay taxes into that.
You do understand that royalties are not earned.
Well, it's not a royalty check.
Well,
this is our signing bonus.
I know that, like, for royalties from these, from wells, it's not earned income. None of that comes from local government.
Okay. Can I rephrase that?
I just want everybody to be aware of that, because the township does not benefit financially.
Okay. Well, I'll rephrase it like this. Our impact fees that we stand to make. That's your correct thing? The benefit. All right. So for years, we need a lot of things updated. I mean, we can get a new building so we can have all this meeting in this meeting hall. You know, we can extend the water lines like some people would like. We can do many things with those impact fees. And the more wells that come in here, the more we will get. You know, we can improve so many more things. The more wells we have, I think the better our community will be. With any industry, there's growing pains. And right now, we're through a time where we are growing through this industry, and we're having a growing pain. That's what everybody, with your sides, offset, non-offset, you know. But at the same time, as we advance, that technology has advanced in the last 10 years with everything from fracking, drilling, you know, even the sound enclosures. I mean, you live right across from the new, you know, compressor plant. I don't hear it. I don't know where people hear the compressor plant, but I understand there's one on the Robin Hill, and that's not the one compressor that I'm close to. But I don't hear the one from across 22. I can hear everything, you know, but I don't hear that. Other compressor plants have been here. I don't hear anything from the newer ones that have the newer closures, the multi-million-dollar closures, they're very soundproof. And, sorry about that.
I'd like to address your comments so you understand where I'm coming from. I am absolutely not up here fighting with them. On the same note, though, we are, as a board, required to determine compliance with the law or our ordinance. And when a company comes in, and I have an ordinance in front of me, and they won't meet it, and an independent engineer testifies they won't, and I feel they won't, because it's a good industry, because it brings jobs, because it helps people, doesn't mean that I can disregard what I feel is a violation of what they are refusing to do for the ordinance. I mean, you have to put yourself in my position. I understand it is everybody. I understand there's leaseholders, but we have laws and an ordinance that have to be followed. And when they're not, it's as if somebody, like Mr. Capola said before, are we supposed to disregard the law and give these people a pass and open ourselves up to litigation because it's a good thing? That's the other side.
Where would we draw the line? I mean, I'm curious, people have commented, where would you have us draw the line? Let me explain it this way. There are people in this room that have signed leases made with Ranch. Some have signed with Chevron or Atlas at the time. Some people have gotten attorneys. Some people have protected themselves. They protected their properties, others haven't. They just signed leases. So what do I say to somebody that has spent $5,000 on an attorney to protect their property, signed a subsurface lease, and then the neighbor signs whatever was put in front of them and pushes something up against that neighbor's property? Does the township now say, well, that money you spent on the attorney doesn't matter because your neighbor needs to get his well on his property? Or do we follow the law? Do we hold a hearing? Do those neighbors come in? Do they comment? Do we try to find a balance, is what I'm saying, between the neighbors? Because that's really all the ordinance is about, finding a balance. That's what the compliance is about. Where do we draw that line? I mean, from anybody in this room, I'd like to know, what do we do as a board? Do we throw the rules out to enforce the ordinance? Our ordinance is very easy to apply. I think our special counsel here looked at it, and it's a very simple ordinance. There's not a lot of it.
So as long as, so I get this straight, and I know you guys, and they said earlier, so as long as that complete, and they present, and they give you everything that you guys require in the zoning ordinance, then it will be approved. That's the law. So,
And to other people's questions, Mr. Capola especially tried to say during the hearings, when all the attorneys were present, here's what we feel you're lacking. I remember him mentioning 2 or 3 times, how can we help you? You know what we got? Our case is closed, here it goes. That's what we got.
It's really up to the leaseholder, because we can't, as a board, deal with the gas companies and stuff like that. It's really up to the leaseholders.
well, one point, I know more of my comments, but I can say it real quick. I think a lot of public view of the board when Mr. Smith refused himself, and we start this thing. Okay. So we had a meeting at the Barstown Ranch. There was around 60 people there that supported the gas industry coming in. They were leasees, people who had a lease, and people who do not have gas rights altogether. It was a very positive environment. At that time, the article was printed, and the very first person to carry the article was Jesse White. And he said that we were upset with the cases that the drillers are drilling. Really, we were upset, and I understand after you guys explained it, but we were upset. Most people were upset with how it perceived that the board was dragging its feet. And I know you guys explained it, but that's what was missing in the article. And Mr. White made it sound like we were upset at the drilling company. But at the same time, with Jesse White and Mr. Smith, the time he recused himself, it seems that he was representing us, the township, all at the same time representing the Amarillo Township residents in a lawsuit against him. So to me, that seemed like he was taking our money, and at the same time saying, I can be impartial, but doing that same time. So that to me seemed like we were getting shafted.
Do you realize that there are leaseholders sitting in this room right now, and Mr. Smith represents?
his business.
That's right. He represents leaseholders, he represents municipalities. I think that those people are all on the same side, so to speak.
But it doesn't proceed well when you have one person representing for and against, because I understand he has to make money. But at the same time, it doesn't seem good practice to me to represent some here and there, because then you can be called into question.
Well, hence the special counsel.
Yeah, I understand.
And to be honest with
Let me
you,
just say, from a legal standpoint, what the solicitor's job is to give advice to legal issues that are in front of the board. Now, we represent 14 municipalities, we represent lots of other leaseholders, developers, et cetera. In this capacity, sitting here as township solicitor or special counsel, my job is to only give advice to the board based on the law and the facts of what's before. Mr. Lucas, who's sitting here this evening for the Temples, his firm represents lots of municipalities. And they do the exact same thing that Mr. Smith did, the exact same thing that I do, which is you look at the facts, you look at the law, you apply the law to the facts, and you give the advice to them. That's what we're supposed to do.
I think instead of people getting a lot of their information from a neighbor or hearsay, why not just call one of us? Because we'd be happy to talk.
Hey, Brian, if I may.
Supervisors?
Sorry, I'm Nick from Representative White's office. He's in Harrisburg. Nick Garrick, G-E-R-E-K, from Representative Jesse White's office. Representative White's in Harrisburg this evening, or else he certainly would have been here. I just want to quickly, I don't want to take over the meeting, of course, I just want to quickly add that Representative White's happy to meet with anybody. He's made a blanket statement multiple times in the past. Landowners, leaseholders, everybody in between. Come to his office, sit down, have a discussion. Mr. Campbell's doing so in, I think, 2 days from now. And Steve, I'm going to give you a business card. Give us a call tomorrow. We'll set something up, and we'll hash it out. Any of your concerns will be addressed.
The reason I addressed Jesse was, in his address on the internet underneath the observer reporter, was he called all of us who were in favor of range pawns of range.
I sincerely doubt he said you were pawns of range. I did not see the comments under the observer
Very first
report.
print underneath the article, I printed it out in my car, and I showed it afterwards, but it said that we were just pawns of range. But to me, that upset me. And I mean, maybe I'm reading it wrong, maybe not.
Maybe I'm reading it wrong. Go ahead.
Well, I guess I'll sum it up so I'm butt down. You guys can carry on. But after that meeting, we had a range. There's 60 residents that are very adamant to have really not moving forward with, and our families were in it. I think it was a very positive impact on our community when it comes to our future generations. I think if it everything's followed correctly, I think it'll be a very good crack light.
I don't subscribe to reading things on the internet as truth, and I don't. But if you really want to look at something, go to www.newta.com, and you click on local government support publications. You can read exactly the law that we have to follow. It's exactly the same for every municipality in the state. Whatever that is, any applicant. So you can find out exactly what we're required to do, what the applicant has to do, and that's what we have to follow. Okay, but it's really the burden falls on the applicant. I just want everybody to understand that.
One of the other comments I wanted to make is, after your meeting, I received several calls from people in the township saying, why are you paying John Smith so much? One of the things I wanted to address here tonight, especially since you brought it up, is some of the misnomers about John Smith. As far as what he's doing for the Act 13 appeal, he discharged this township absolutely nothing. He's done a free program. The other thing to keep in mind with the increasing fees to John Smith, that I didn't understand when I first being early here, that this used to be, as you said, Steve, you go town with very little time. We now have well pads, compressor stations, power plant applications. All those require this board to get legal advice. Some of those things have been some of the large amounts of money that have gone to Mr. Smith. A lot of that money also, if people don't understand, is reimbursed by the applicant. Borrowing midstream is reimbursed on this cost. the power plant that reimbursed much of his costs. So many of the legal costs that are going to John Smith are due to the increased activity in this township from the industry, from pipeline, from compressor stations, from power plants. We can't help but have to have legal advice. He does get reimbursed for a very large portion. And anybody that feels, because I've had several people very concerned, that there's something under the table going on, that we're making John Smith rich with one of the comments I've gotten, is more than welcome to call any member of this board. All the bills that Mr. Smith bills us are a matter of public record. They're entered into each meeting. And I would be happy to answer any questions. And I can't say I know all the answers, but if you have a question about some bill you see from one, or some expenditure this township's made, one of us would be happy to meet with you and go over public record. There's nothing under the table. It's all open book as far as that's concerned.
So we're allowed to, if we were to play, or request a thought that we want to do, you guys would be willing to have.
Absolutely.
I hate seeing how our communities get hurt.
I don't have all the answers, but I would certainly try to get.
I'd like you to keep in mind too, that not everybody in this township can sign the leases or rent leases. There are drilling companies in the township. Some people have very good experience, some people have very bad experience. We as a board, we have to deal with those. And believe me, we've seen a lot in the last 6 years.